And the playoffs right now for the Giants, they're right there. And I want to hear, well, you can't beat Philly. Oh, what are you going to do when you play the Eagles? It is basically the middle of December. The Giants have 4 games to go, okay? They are 1 game out of the final spot for the playoffs in the NFC. It is go time, Sal.
Yeah, I'm not going to get caught up in the Giants as far as playoff goes, but I am getting caught up in Tommy DeVito, BT.
Don't they go hand in hand?
No, because the record, I'm not buying into the record and their schedule, and we could get to that in a little bit. And it is great for the Giants because the game does mean something on Sunday now against New Orleans, which it may not have before. But Tommy DeVito is proving himself to be the best quarterback in New York. Tommy DeVito is a guy who should be taken seriously. Forget about the hand gestures and the Italian. Like, I'm so sick and I don't get offended by that stuff.
Yep.
But, like, it's enough already because it's, oh, look at DeVito's parents and this or that. The kid could play quarterback. He could run the football. He's actually fast. He could throw the football. He's beaten a Bill Belichick defense. He did something that Daniel Jones struggles to do. Primetime football, win a game. He makes big throws. He brings his team back when it looks like it's over. Tommy DeVito has gotten better each and every week, and Tommy DeVito, while we may not believe in it, for undrafted quarterback, how is this even possible? Third string, they didn't let him throw the ball against the Jets, for goodness sake. And yet Tommy DeVito is the best quarterback that the Giants have, the best quarterback in New York, better than Daniel Jones, and I'd rather have Tommy DeVito than some rookie quarterback next year that you don't know what is going to happen. Now, does it mean that it's going to be long-term success? I have no idea, but right now, you have to believe in Tommy DeVito. Forget about the nonsense. Watch him play. He is a legit quarterback and doing some good things with the New York Giants.
This is an amazing story. There's just no way around it. And I hear you with the hand gestures and the emojis and the brajol and
like enough,
the
dude.
Cutlets and
His
the mozzarella.
Yeah, come on.
You know what, though? I'm going to lean into that because that's our area, you know. And if the team wasn't buying into that, which they are. I mean, after the game, they're all doing this in the locker room. You see the whole team doing it. Like, they love this kid. I know what you mean. Like, it shouldn't supersede what he's doing on the field. And I think on some level it might be.
100% it is.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and it also feels like it takes away the legitimacy to what he's doing. We talked about this the first game after the Jet game. Whenever he played, I forget because remember, Jones came back.
Yes, he came back. Then,
but whenever he went in there, maybe the Washington game was really the first one. He was making throws that nobody else in this town has made, certainly not with the Giants, and he continued to do that. Then I'm like, all right, well, let's see him do it against the Belichick defense. Undrafted rookie free agent against the Belichick defense. Guess what? They didn't light it up, but he made plays. He made big throws. And then again last night, he looked terrific against a good Packers team. He's making throws all over the place. He's bringing his team back. He's making the right reads. He's running the football. He's got good speed. Like, Tommy DeVito is a good quarterback. He's playing a position well. Forget about his last name ends in a vowel, or he lives with his mother, or they call him cutlets, or the hand gestures. He's a good quarterback and doing things at the NFL level that we haven't seen a quarterback in this town do.
I was going to get there. You know, I think it's funny and I like it, but I hear you. Like, I don't want it to supersede the talent and the skill set, which I think on some level, at least maybe nationally it might, but at least here, you watch Tommy DeVito play football, and there's 2 things that are very apparent. Number one, he's tough. I mean, you see him lower the pads on one of those runs that he had?
Yes.
I mean, you run for 70-something yards. You're basically doing what Daniel Jones did a year ago when we were sitting here saying Daniel Jones might be or could be on some level if you really look at the literal definition of MVP awards based on what one player does for one team. You know, Daniel Jones, you know, he had a little claim to maybe get some votes there, and basically 70-something yards a week is what Daniel Jones was doing last year, not to mention, you know, winning games, which is what Tommy DeVito's doing. But he's showing a penchant for coming back. He's not afraid of the moment. That touchdown throw in the back of the end zone, that
to
again,
Hodgins, dude.
Sal, that wasn't just a cute, to your point, cute little story. Let's go to the Italian feast. I mean, that was on the run through a keyhole dime. Dot.
Not Danny Dimes, who probably hasn't made a throw like that in his life.
That's
DeVito rolling out. Like, we've looked for spurts with Zach, with Daniel Jones, trying to figure out, if these guys could be, maybe they show glimpses. DeVito's just doing it. Now, again, I know it's 3-4 games, whatever it's been here, BT.
Yep.
But I'm seeing things in these games, throws that he makes, plays that he makes, decisions that he makes, poise, confidence. Like, that's all there. It's all happening. The New York Giants have their quarterback. As of right now, the Giants have their quarterback. He's better than Daniel Jones. Hate to break it to you, he's better than Jones. And if he keeps playing like this, you don't have to draft a quarterback next year.
Well, I'll tell you, that's why things are changing fast. So I started the show, I said the Giants fans have been gifted a season by the sports gods. The sports gods who are usually so cruel to all of us in the metropolitan area. They, out of nowhere, they said, yeah, you know what? We're going to mess around. Hey, Giant fans, here you go. You're going from basically, are we picking second? Are we picking third to, as Sal just said, we might not even need to draft the quarterback. And I don't necessarily think that that's crazy. I truly don't. Here's what else. I start to say the two things that jump out with Devito. He's tough, but he's also decisive. Is Zach Wilson decisive? No. Until the other day, he was. Is Daniel Jones decisive? No. They kind of.
How's Jones looked in primetime?
Oh, he's been to tribal. He's 1-14. He's atrocious in primetime.
When I'm backing Daniel Jones up and you say, well, he hasn't done anything in primetime, and I'm like, yeah, give him some time. Who knows? Well, Devito won primetime game Monday Night Football against the Packers.
Boom.
I mean, and it's not by accident. He's making big plays.
Yeah.
Troy Aikman.
Yes.
Joe Buck both saying, this kid pid a hell of a game. Hey, forget about the nonsense that we're pumping up for the storyline. And I get it, but, it's about, can he play or not? He can play. The kid can play. It's a quarterback, BT.
877-337-6666. He is Sal. BT and Sal on the Fan. Giant fans, you got to be pumped. Let's hammer these phones inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. He's got a little wiggle, makes some tough throws. He's got a little moxie. His teammates respond to him. Dable, they have a great, a real synergy. Dable's good for him. He's been good for Dable. He is reinvigorated. Tommy DeVito has reinvigorated the entire Giant fan base. They were, the mortician, the toe tag was printed. They were getting ready to slap it on the toe. They just unzipped the bag. They were at the bag. Like they walked up to the cold body. But you know what? There was still an ounce of blood pulsating through those veins. And that blood is Tommy DeVito. He says, we ain't dying yet. We got to seize him.
It's a shame.
We got to seize him.
It is a shame.
Ride it.
That they didn't let Tommy DeVito, throw the football against the Jets. Because if they won that game, playoffs would be legitimate.
I got you. All right, let's get to you. First up, how about John on Staten Island, BT and Sound on the Fan? What's going on, Johnny?
What's up, boys?
Yo, John.
Man, I love y'all, but y'all got to slow down, man. Come on. Tommy DeVito's having a great 3 games. I'm a big Giant fan. I'm happy to see it. But you cannot sit here today and say that he's the quarterback moving forward. You cannot definitively say that.
John, I'm going to let you finish, John, I promise. But you know what you can't say? You can't definitively say that he's not.
Okay, I get that. I get what you're trying to say.
Okay.
Let's wait and see for the season. You can't sit here and say that we're not drafting a quarterback with this high pick this year. You cannot sit here and tell me that we're going to go into next year with Daniel Jones on a bum wheel and then hoping that Danny DeVito can take the next step and not take a young quarterback. We cannot do this. We're falling to the...
What I'm saying, John, is Tommy DeVito is the best quarterback that the Giants have and could be better than anybody that you could draft. He's doing it. You're drafting somebody in hopes that they could do it. Now, you get the rest of the season to see what goes on here, but you should not be overlooking just because of where he came from and what you think he's going to be. He's doing it.
No. All right, yes, he's doing it right now. But listen, remember, a year ago we were talking about Daniel Jones. You just even said it with the hyperbole with Daniel Jones last year being a top quarterback. And then this year we come into this year, he looks terrible. We cannot go on hopes and dreams anymore as a Giants fan. We can't do it.
Yeah, but John, this is where John, I respect what you're saying, and I think there's going to be a lot of people that probably agree with you. But what we're saying is, at the very least, the draft philosophy, what it was, 2 weeks ago. I'm not saying it's radically flipped. I'm just going to speak for myself here. What I am directly saying is, don't tell me that the Giants absolutely have to take a quarterback. Now everything's on the table. DeVito rolls into the Superdome next week. He beats the Saints. I mean, or even if he plays well and they lose, to me, the conversation has shifted. Where it once was, what quarterback are they taking? Where are they drafting? Now, and I was saying this at the show meeting this morning, I'm like, you might not have to take a quarterback.
You know who the comp is? And
Let me see. Who is the comp?
Current comp.
Current comp.
I'm not
Okay.
saying he is that just yet, but it's a good comparison.
The current comp. All right, so it's not necessarily like not an Allen, not a Hurts, not a Mahomes type.
No, obviously, because it's going to be somebody that was like, yeah, he's doing it, but.
Well, Dak was a late round pick. I didn't think you were going there. Purdy?
Yes.
There you go.
And I'm not saying Purdy could win the MVP.
Sure.
And maybe should win the MVP. But even this year, yours truly. Well, I mean, we talked about it. Like, there's still some doubt, like, and I don't know where it is. It's just like, yeah, but he's not supposed to be that. So even though he's having success, still maybe they could find somebody else, or maybe they need to get somebody else. And maybe even the Niners themselves, they wouldn't have drafted Trey Lance if they really believed, with Purdy, however it worked out. I forget the exact
traded for
timeline.
Darnold, too.
Yeah, well, right, having him as a backup. Like, he's doing it, though. So regardless of where Purdy came from and what the expectations were, he's now done it. He did it last year, which maybe we thought was an aberration when he first did it.
Yep.
He's continued to do it this year. Now I think everybody's going to be like, well, holy crap. Purdy's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Who cares what we thought he was going to be or what he was supposed to be? He is this. Now, obviously, it's a much smaller sample size with Tommy DeVito, but he's doing what Daniel Jones hasn't done. What Jones did last year turned out to be the mirage, and he only did it, BT, running the football. DeVito's doing it now both ways. What you've seen is progression. Wasn't allowed to throw the football in his first game. Then he's progressed. He makes sick throws on the field. He makes good reads. Throws that other guys, just Jones included, haven't made. He's doing what you hope a young kid you draft could do. I'm not saying he's the most talented. He's the best. And he may be their best option moving forward. He's doing it right now.
877-337-6666. He's injected life into a franchise that was dead. I mean, that is all there is to it. He gave you life. He gave you hope, and he's playing great. Chuck is in New York. What's going on, Chuck?
Well, guys, I totally agree that maybe we don't need to draft a quarterback, but Brock Purdy, when you have a team around, anybody can be a good quarterback. You don't have to
No,
be
that's not true at all.
Superstar.
But you still got to make the right decisions. Listen, it's going to be easier if there's holes for the guys to run through and time to go through reads and good concepts, like forward-thinking concepts, which they have with a great coach. But I mean, it's not about Purdy. He's capitalized on this, but then again, so is DeVito. And DeVito doesn't have what Purdy has out there in San Francisco yet. So this notion that, this is the apex of whatever DeVito's going to become, I'm not buying that. Who knows how good he could be?
Not saying this is the apex, no question.
Yep.
But they still have a lot of stuff to build for this team. And December 17th in the last game, that's going to be the test in my mind of where we are.
Chuck, let me ask you this, Chuck. So how long have you been a Giants fan? How many years? 30, 20, 40, what?
40.
Okay, 40. Gotcha. So you've seen it all, man. Sims, Eli, everybody in between. Got it. 2 weeks ago, I'm pretty sure when you were sitting down watching these games, talking to your buddies, you were absolutely convinced we must take a quarterback within the first 5 picks. Yes or no?
No.
No? Why not?
I think Jones is fine. It's hard to throw on your back.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
played behind such awful offensive lines.
Okay.
That it's been very hard to have a true picture, I believe.
That's fair. Listen, if people are going to start now, when you talk about DeVito and not drafting a quarterback, you're going to get people call up and say, hey, I still think that Daniel Jones is viable. I'm fine with that.
I have no issues. And I liked Daniel Jones based off of last year. This was supposed to be a year who was going to take a step forward. I have a 1,000,000% confidence in saying Tommy DeVito is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones.
Let's get Rick down in Tampa, big Giants fan. Rick, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Hey, what's up? Our first 2 calls semi-negative. Come on,
Let's go,
super
Rick.
exciting. Yo, listen, I'm down here in Tampa at a bar watching the game. I see number 15 in blue running. I'm going Tim Tebow, man. This is exciting, man.
Yeah, but he's better than Tebow.
Yeah.
He's better.
Yeah.
Better.
Oh, dude,
Much better.
Thrower. That last drive, he made the short passes he had to. That dime to Wan'Dale
Robinson.
having a resurgence.
Man.
Unbelievable. The offensive line is playing great. No sacks.
Yeah.
I mean, he's making the plays. That throw in the end zone was great. Yeah, we got to give him a couple more games, obviously, but he is showing so much. that I am all on board for him.
Well,
if he
he's
continues to play
progressing.
like it is, we'll see.
He's progressing, which is also what you like to see. This, of course, is going to be a bad game. And we talked about it yesterday. You really find out about somebody when they go through adversity. So what's going to happen, let's say, against the Eagles? Devito goes out there, throws 3 interceptions, has an awful game, and everybody stops believing in him but him. How's he going to respond to that?
Yep.
That's when we're going to learn about him. I think he's got it. I think he's got that dog in him. I think he's got he's the poise, the confidence, the ability to make the throws. I'm watching somebody who looks like he belongs. He believes he belongs. He doesn't believe like, oh crap, I went undrafted. I don't, or I'm scared under the pressure. Oh, I'm afraid to make the right read or the bad throw, which I've seen plenty with the quarterbacks here, whether it's Jones or Zach Wilson.
Yep.
He's not doing that, BT. And he's got the benefit of the great coaching staff around him, too. But to see the progress each and every week, and it's not just about numbers, but to watch him now add the running element to his game, DeVito's it. He's a legit quarterback in this league, at least for now.
I agree. I truly, truly agree. 877-337-6666. Listen, we're all conditioned to search for that quarterback off the conveyor belt. You know, like, all right, 6'5", boom, 230 pounds, boom, rocket for an arm, boom, as he just goes down the belt, right? Yo, he's got the looks, boom, 4.5 40, boom, SEC pedigree, boom, right? You know what I mean? But sometimes you find a guy or a young man in Tommy DeVito who somehow, even though he's not off that conveyor belt, is able to inspire grown men to follow his lead. And that, you can't get that at a combine. You can't get that off the conveyor belt. You are born with that. And you develop that early in a tough place like New Jersey. And he's got that. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Absolutely amazing.
The story is great, too, but I'm just watching the kid play quarterback, and I love what I'm seeing.
Yep.
This is not just off of last night. It's the culmination of everything that's gone on, the progression. The fact that he beat Bill Belichick's defense, to me, was the first, like, maybe this kid is something here. And watching the throws that he makes, I mean, that throw again last night to Hodgins in the back of the end zone, that is one hell of a throw right there. Certain guys don't have it. He's got it.